Nicole Atkins, Goodnight Rhonda Lee. Is it good? Is it bad? Well, let's talk about it. The album starts off with A Little Crazy, and this really shows Atkins' vocal range in this track, and just just sounds great. It feels so raw too, like how it was produced. You can hear her voice kind of crackle in there, and I was like, holy crap, this might be like live. And you hear those string sections swell up, and you're just like, this is really well made. Like, this feels like there was some effort put in here with the instrumentation really flourishing in there, making it feel like this really theatrical production. And as the strings are just building that momentum, her voice just builds up, and it just feels so satisfying to listen to every time I listen to this track. Then we have the more calm and collective When Darkness Falls So Quiet. This song paints a very vivid picture of a past relationship, even referring to pictures of them as shadows of like the past almost, and it's kind of like kind of eerie kind of feeling, but you kind of like, you understand it because relationships, they can be wonky. And the instrumentation here really shows like how live it kind of sounds at parts, especially with that booming drum in the background, and the piano of course following along with the melody of the song. Then we got Listen Up, which continues that really booming snare throughout most of the album. You really hear that drum kick in. I feel like they turned it up a little high, but they probably did that on purpose, for purposes unknown. And yes, the guitar in this song has a little more of a twang to it. They use it in a very elegant way. And you got some really slick bass in there for background, and it just all adds up to really mesh good, of course. Why wouldn't it, by the way? And the song here is kind of like saying, like, listen up when you're younger, because you're gonna probably make those mistakes as you grow older, and she kind of regrets not listening when she was younger, but you know, that'd probably still happen anyways, because I make mistakes all the time. It's just a thing. Really, we can all relate to this. I mean, come on. And also in this track, she gets a little yelly in here with her vocals here, and it's actually like nice change up. I like it. Then we got Goodnight Rhonda Lee, and this has a very nice bass in there, and we got some twang guitar and some nice percussion here and there with its very subtle taps and piano textures throughout. And just overall, this song has a very classic country mentality to it, and I like that. Nothing really much to say about this. Proceed. But the next song that actually seriously catches my full attention is the song Colors, which has this very nice piano in there that just carries the song throughout. And her vocal performance here is very mesmerizing as she's talking about her problems with drinking in this song, and it kind of feels very personal, and I feel kind of a connection with her in some kind of weird way. I mean, I don't have a drinking problem, but I feel like you can kind of feel who she is, or see it, or hear who she is. I feel like she's trying to grow out of her problems, and I feel like she has, probably. I'm hoping she has. And just how the song plays out feels very like classical in a sense. Then we got the song Sleepwalking, which is more of a like upbeat tune with that nice instrumentation that you're getting throughout the whole album, essentially. And in this track, she's more talking about how she kind of wishes she was living in this dream world, which she kind of is. She's sleepwalking through it because she wants to live in this reality where nothing's bad at all. It's essentially daydreaming, and like, she's just trying to escape from her demons, it seems like. It feels kind of like nerving at times, because you're like, you should probably live reality, you know? But you can see where she's coming from, because with all this heartbreak that she's gone through, and she's got like problems like normal people do, and it just feels realistic, and that's what we need in music, is reality. And sometimes we like to escape reality, and I feel like in this track she's talking about how she likes to ignore the real reality here. And later on we get a night of serious drinking, and yeah, it just, like, you feel for her. Like, she's gone through all this heartbreak, like, this guy was gonna come back, probably never did, and she's basically drinking herself to kind of forget it, but it doesn't really work, of course. And it's just kind of heart-wrenching, and it has nice twanginess in there too. It just, it kind of breaks you a little bit, as at least as I was listening to it. I was kind of feeling kind of broken at this point in the record, and that's kind of what this whole album is trying to do, is trying to make you feel for it. And it feels like this album's very personal to her. And even with the closing track, A Dream Without Pain, just the title of the track is kind of like, yeah. Which, with this album, this track makes so much sense. It does. It really does. And it gets me. It's kind of a happy moment too, because she's having a dream without pain, and her nightmares turning into actual dreams. You're like, you get this sigh of relief after listening to this track. You're just like... So overall, my total thoughts on this album is that it's pretty damn good. If you can get invested in the artist after just like throwing your heart around everywhere and just having a nice connection with an artist, even if you don't fully relate to everything, you just feel like this is real, like this is real stuff here. And I feel like there was a lot of work put in this album. I feel like her personal life was definitely implemented here, and I absolutely dug into it. I like ate it up. I haven't felt this ate it up since I listened to Father John Misty's Pure Comedy. Even the album by the Lumineers, Cleopatra, did this to me too, and I felt really heart-wrenched after that, because it felt like it was a personal album. I felt like these were real people, and I still feel like they're real people, and that's why I like those albums a lot, because I feel like they're real. They feel good, like in a sense that you're actually feeling something in the music, and that's kind of rare these days. Well, at least for me, because I listen to so much music. I'd say my only complaint on this album is some of the instrumentation is a little wonky at parts. Like, some of the mixing was kind of off, but maybe it's because, like, emotionally showing the shifts between how the music sounds and everything. I don't know what the direction that they were trying to go with this album, but I also like how it feels so timelessly classic, of like reminiscent of old country music. I think she's got that style down, like to the bare bones or whatever. And I absolutely adored that too. I adore this album. I think it's great. And it really pains me that I never really heard of her. I mean, I've heard the name Atkins before, but I didn't know about her really. And I'm glad I do now. So yeah, it's a 5 out of 5. That's a given. I've never felt this emotionally invested into a country album before, and I'm glad that I listened to it. I'm super glad that I listened to it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and check out my other reviews. I have plenty of them now, and have a good one. Peace.